One of my favorite parts of this whole press tour, I think my favorite actual moment was you referring to Man of Steel Lex Luthor when you and I were talking about
Mm-hmm.
what you referenced again throughout the experience. And I'm curious what from that particular run most informed your psychology of the character and if that's changed now that you've wrapped rereading it. Has anything shifted, especially in that particular tome of Lex?
Yeah, I found that comic really, really wonderful for Lex in terms of interpreting him for this script and just getting to understand him a little bit. It was heartbreaking, that story from Lex's perspective a little bit, I felt. And there's one page where one of the images is a kind of, I think, Lex kind of reflected in Superman's chest. You could kind of see his image reflected off of the S symbol. And it speaks so much about how he views himself and how he views Superman and the world around it. That there was, and also like there was bits of dialogue in that I would use as my kind of get into the accent or like the headspace of Lex a little bit. So there's one page of that I kind of still remember, and if I have to do the Lex voice, that's what I say to get into it as like a habit. I don't know.
How did you decide like how Lex speaks, what accent he uses?
It was playing around because initially there was a conversation where I was like, oh, he doesn't have to be American. And then I was like, oh, with the history of how we feel in this story, it felt right that they were, from Metropolis and that would be an American city. So firstly that, and then just, figuring out the intellect and it's like a feeling thing. I don't know how to describe it completely. It's not like I went out and found one voice and was like, oh, that's what I'm going to mimic or do.
Right.
It's just kind of a thing where you try a few things out and you go, oh, now let's send James little voice recordings occasionally. And then it's like an energy behind that, I suppose, that kind of hopefully works.